TribLive High School Sports Network is the official video and audio streaming partner of the WPIAL. We broadcast over 2,000 sporting events each year and cover 17 sports in over 170 schools. At HSSN, you'll find the latest in high school sports news, live and archive broadcasts, scores, standings, and much more. TribLive High School Sports Network, your high school sports leader. All season, every season.
Coming to you live from the AHN Complex here at Seneca Valley. It's WPIAL Playoff Baseball, about an hour late, almost an hour and 15 minutes late here at LC SportsNet, or the TribLive High School Sports Network. We're going to mess that up a few times. Jay Moan alongside, I'm James Dotson, as we get ready for game number 2. First game went 10 innings between the Neshannock and Shadyside Academy. And took over 3 hours. Neshannock a walk-off victor in the bottom of the 10th inning, 6-5. This is the top-seeded and undefeated Riverside Panthers taking on the Valley Vikings here today. And Jay Moan, let's hope this one goes a little bit quicker than our first game tonight, right?
I hope so, but if it doesn't, we'll be here as long as we have to be, just like usual.
And if that does happen, that means it's probably a pretty darn good game that is happening, which Riverside, I'll tell you what, has not had too many of those on their 17-0 path this year. They made it to the WPIAL semifinals and the state quarterfinals last year. Ended up losing on a walk-off to Sarah Catholic in the district playoffs. Lost in 11 innings to Neshannock right here. Does that sound familiar? So they were probably getting some deja vu sitting and waiting for this game to begin. But when you look at it, Jay, this Riverside Panthers team, top to bottom, they hit, they field, they're fundamental, and they got probably 2 or 3 of the top pitchers in the entire classification.
Well, pitching usually wins, and you need more than one pitcher when you get this level.
Yeah, when you have a sophomore who's throwing 90, he's already committed to Duke, and we will not see him today. You'll see the senior left-handed Ronnie Harper. He is absolutely fantastic for the Riverside Panthers if you look at his numbers on the season as the left-hander. No losses, of course, because Riverside has not lost this year. Ronnie Harper with a 4-0 record, a 1.79 earned run average, and he's not a prototypical strikeout pitcher, but a lefty much similar to the first game we saw. Uses the curveball to set up the fastball. Pitching backwards is the vernacular that Richie Saraganish used in the first game here tonight. And with that in mind, you know that you're going to have to be disciplined, and you're going to have to use the entire field against a pitcher who works the zone like he does.
I'm sure the Valley's going to have to really concentrate and try to get some hits, string some hits together, get some runs.
Now, the question that I have for you, Jay, is how much of an advantage is it that Valley has already played a game in the playoffs? I mean, Riverside, I'm sure, has scrimmaged over the course of their last 5 or 6 days off. Yes, Valley probably is without one of their pitchers, probably their top pitcher because he threw on Tuesday, but they're a little more fresh in terms of being in competition.
Well, looking at Valley before and doing some research, looked like they had a lot of guys pitch, so we're not sure who they're going to go with or how long people are going to go. I think they can put multiple pitchers in if they have to.
And it looks like it's going to be the junior Wesley Schrock who will be getting the ball first. And this is a team extremely young. No seniors on the roster, just a handful of juniors, of which 3 had playoff experience as freshmen when they beat Mohawk in the WPIAL playoffs 2 years ago. Beyond that, Jay, there's not a whole lot in terms of experience in the playoffs. But again, they have one game to whet their appetite already.
Ronnie Harper.
Well, they won one game already, and it was a very tight game, if I can recollect, and we'll see how they do against Riverside.
Yeah, 6-5 victory in that game, and some theatrics in that one as well. A coach ejection in the first inning for Burrell, the team that they beat. And how about this? They because they tied, that's why both teams made it into the playoffs and had that play-in game. Well, guess what? Burrell had beaten their local rivals both times in the regular season. Valley returns the favor when it matters most in the postseason. So I think that speaks volumes right there.
What they say is it's really hard to beat a team 3 times in the same season. You can beat them twice, win the playoffs. It's a whole different animal there.
As we look at Ronnie Harper warming up on the hill, let's take a look at the batting order for Coach James Bassilone's Valley Vikings. Tyler Danker will lead off in center field. Alexander Wagner, the catcher, bats second. Conrad Hoover batting third. Nicholas Heekins, the left fielder, hitting fourth. Jacob Staranuel, the shortstop, hits 5th. Wesley Schrock, the pitcher, hitting 6th. Dante Taliani, Demetrius Green, and the DH Cafano Sam rounds out the batting order. Colin Scholl playing first base, not batting for the Vikings. Danko, Wagner, Hoover, Heekins, Staranuel, Schrock, Taliani, Green, and Sam for the Valley Vikings. And we'll get the defensive alignment from Jay Moan.
The Valley starting with in right field.
Let's get Riverside defense.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll get that. Actually, we'll get it after this first pitch being thrown. First pitch delivered for strike 1 at 7:47 p.m. So we are an hour and 17 minutes behind schedule after the marathon first game.
Mitch Garvin's at first base. Seth Hayes at second base. Evan Burry at shortstop. Sam Barber at third. Ronnie Harper's pitching. Darren McCade is catching. Left to right is Hunter Garvin, Bo Florentino, and Ashton Schlosser.
Again, a veteran team is only one senior loss on last year's team, and Fornatero has this one tracked in center field. Gave it a ride there, did Danko, but it's caught for the first out of the inning.
Now batting number 10, Alex Bagnier.
Made good contact, just got underneath it too much.
So F8 for the first out of the game. Alexander Wagner, the freshman, will step to the plate. Again, lots of underclassmen that are working hard and getting into this Valley lineup early in their careers.
Like you said, they have 5 juniors, 5 sophomores, and 5 freshmen, and that is it.
Lefty Harper, backdoor breaking ball, misses outside for ball 1, says home plate umpire Ricky Gabriel. Andy Bruno, the third base umpire. Kyle Bonner, the first base umpire. The 1-0 from Harper. Gets back to the screen, makes the count 2-0. Alexander Wagner hitting at 200 on the season, hitting in the 2 spot. Does have 10 RBI on the year. Does the freshman. 2-0 the count. This one foul tipped, and we'll go back to the screen. 2-1. Winner of this one takes on Freeport or South Allegheny. We'll try to get you scores on all those. We know Shenango over South Park is a final. Neshannock over Shady Side Academy in their game.
You should know that one, James.
Oh. That first game here tonight at Seneca Valley that lasted 10 innings over 3 hours played. It's now a 3-1 count. 2-2 batter here in the top of the first inning.
See what Harper comes with this time.
Ball 4 is what he comes with.
Third baseman number 4, Conrad Hoover.
Very high in that pitch. Got to bring her down a little bit.
1 out walk. First walk issued of the game by Harper. Doesn't walk very many. 14 walks issued on the year.
He had to sit a long time for this game to start, so it might take him an inning or so to get in the groove.
First pitch down at the knees for strike 1 to Conrad Hoover. Third baseman batting in the 3 spot today.
Looked like a nice curveball there.
231 hitter. 3 doubles and a triple. Throw over to first base, and they got him picked off. Running to second base is Wagner. Now coming back with some speed is the shortstop, and he will make the tag. Pickoff 1 to 3 to 6 for the second out of the inning. That's a freshman who probably hasn't seen a move quite like that all year long.
As a senior, he's a left-hander. It's probably has a nice move going first to look like.
And Wagner totally looking the wrong direction, so now 2 down. One and 1 to count as that one misses downstairs to Hoover. I mentioned Valley's 6-5 victors over Burrell. Had to survive a late rally. I think it was a 3-run 6, by Burrell. That got it back to within 1. And then they were able to close it out in that game. Part of it because Valley scored 2 runs in the first inning without a hit. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Good block by McDade behind the dish. Throw to first base a little high, but stretching to get the tag out is Garvin to complete the inning. 1-2-3, but not a conventional one, as there was a walk and a pickoff. No one left on the bases. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning, and we'll flip the script right now and take a look at the starting batting order for Riverside. Coach Dan Oliastro, in his 54th year as head coach, 55th season total coaching, 54th actual season as the coach of the Panthers. Shortstop Evan Burry leads off, followed by right fielder Aston Schlosser. Center fielder Bo Fornatero hits third. Hunter Garvin fourth. Mitch Garvin hits fifth, followed by Drake Fox, the designated hitter. He's hitting for the pitcher, Ronnie Harper. Darren McDade, Sammy Barber, and Seth Hayes are the three who round out the order. So Burry, Schlosser, Fornatero, Hunter, and Mitch Garvin, Fox, McDade, Barber, and Hayes for the Panthers. And here's your Valley Vikings defensive alignment.
Pitching is Wesley Schrock. Catching is Ali Van Gieren. First baseman is Colin Schroll. Second baseman is Dante Taliani. Shortstop is Jacob Sturhanik. Third baseman is Conrad Hoover. From left to right is Nico Heekins, Tyler Danko, and Demetrius Green.
Heekins, who's out in left field, he actually finished the game on Tuesday, struck out the side in the 7th inning. Thinking that the lefty might be in relief, but it's the lefty Wesley Schrock who will start on the bump here on the turf at Seneca Valley High School.
Evan Burry.
Like you said, Riverside is a very good hitting team.
Schrock a .255 earned run average. 50 strikeouts and 23 walks on the year, given up by the junior left-hander. Evan Burry will step to the plate. First pitch, cricket bowled in for ball one to Burry, a .314 hitter on the season. Coach Oliastro coaching down at third base. Longtime assistant, and by long time I mean literally 53 of the 55 years, is John Marnicio.
I talked to him before the game, and he said, go talk to the older gentleman.
The older gentleman.
Yes.
And he said he would have been coaching even longer potentially, except for the he was actually drafted into the Army early on in Coach Oliastro's coaching career. I mean, think of it this way. Coach O began the year that they put a man on the moon. That's when he became head coach at Riverside High School, and he watches as Evan Burry leads off with a 4-pitch walk.
I was actually a
Number 22.
a freshman in high school when that happened, James.
That tells you enough.
Yes. I actually remember the man walking on the moon.
No REM references here at AHN Ballpark. Pair of lefties going at it, and there's the first strike thrown in the game from Wesley Schrock. Squaring to bunt and pulling back. Ball gets away momentarily from the catcher. Wagner able to track it back down before Burry can get off and running. And what's been one of the keys to success? Fundamentals. Riverside does not make many mistakes. They'll bunt 1 through 9. Everybody will get a job done when asked, and they do score to bunt again on the 1-1. It's a good one off the end of the bat. Throw to first in plenty of time. Sacrifice goes 2-4 for the first out of the inning. Advances Burry to second base.
Schlosser came into the game batting .469, and he still bunts, which says a lot.
Jay, that's the team leader in batting average, bunting.
And a homer, 5 doubles, and he scores 22 runs. So that shows what kind of team they have.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think the most telling stat, 5 strikeouts. That's all he has struck out this year. Bo Fornatero, he's pretty good at seeing the ball too. 14 walks, one of the highest on the team. He's also over 400 on the year. One of 4 players in this starting lineup for the Panthers who are batting over 400 on the season. 2-0 the count now to the center fielder.
Bo also has scored 23 runs and has 21 RBIs. I believe he leads the team with that. Nope, I'm wrong. Mitch Garvin has 22.
He is close, though.
Yes.
And again, top to bottom, there is no weak bat in this lineup. I mean, hard to imagine you're an undefeated 17-0 team, the 1 seed. This one's beat into the ground for a 4-3 putout. The runner does go to third base. Fornatero is retired for the second out of the inning. Burry advances to third. So there's your first official at-bat of the game.
Left fielder number 3.
Now
Hunter
2 down.
Garvin.
Left-handed hitting Hunter Garvin to the plate.
Hunter's batting .409, leads the team with 4 home runs, and he scored 19 runs and 19 RBIs.
The younger of the 2 Garvin brothers, the sophomore, the senior hitting right behind him. Hunter in left field. Mitch at first base. Hunter, one of the 3 pitchers that have been used pretty frequently on the year. Hunter Garvin, a 0.39 earned run average. Ronnie Harper starting today at 1.79. Christian Lucarelli, who's going to Duke, he's got a 1.55 earned run average. Part of that is good pitching. Part of that is great defense behind you over the course of a season, right, Jay?
That's good defense and good team fundamental baseball.
The fact that you don't need to worry if somebody's having an off day, too. You have plenty of other options to work with. Breaking ball misses outside, makes the count 2-1. Make it 3-1 as it's upstairs from Wesley Schrock here in the first round of the Class 3A tournament.
Hunter, as a sophomore, he's just only going to get better.
He was one of the many starters back this year, as we mentioned, 8 of the 9 in the starting
First
lineup.
baseman number 9, Mitch Garvin.
And now he adds to his team high 18 walks on the year, make it number 19. Runners on the corners with 2 down, and Mitch Garvin to the plate. So that's part of it, too. It's tough to pitch around a guy when you have big brother sitting behind you.
Big brother's only batting .370, though.
Yeah, but he leads the team, as you mentioned earlier, Jay, with 22 ribbies, and he'd love to capitalize here early. He squares the bunt, and hesitating going to second base, and chilling there, and then finally going the rest of the way is Hunter Garvin on catcher's indifference, seeing if they could potentially draw a throw.
The smart move by the catcher not to throw the ball. Let him go.
And now work on the batter. As this one's down in the pebbles, count even at 1-1. Rob Nattell working as the producer. Tyler Aaron on the cams for us here today at Seneca Valley High School. Throw back down to third base and just barely getting back in time. That's smart again from the catcher Vanier not to throw it down and potentially throw it in the outfield. We saw that a couple times in the first game, Jay.
Yes, we did. Sometimes it's good just to hold on to the ball.
Called strike evens the count at 2-2.
I don't think Mitch was looking for that pitch.
Two, good job to fight that one off. Not the best pitch to hit, but found a way to foul it off and get another pitch coming your way.
He jammed him, but at least he fouled it back.
Section 1, Jay, is already 3-0 today. Mohawk upsets Greensburg Salem 8-3. Shenango upsets the defending champion South Park 6-3. And Neshannock in 10 innings defeats Shadyside Academy 6-5. Called strike 3 at the knees, leaving 2 men in scoring position. We've played one here from Seneca Valley, tied at 1
Panthers 0.
here between
Vikings
Riverside
0.
and Valley on the TribLive High School Sports.
Hi, my name's Mark and I am a political science major at Seton Hill University. Initially, I came to Seton Hill for pre-law, but loved my poli-sci classes so much, I made it my focus. Ultimately, my goal is to hold political office and make a positive impact on people's lives. For me, it was the faculty, both in my major and out, that made my Seton Hill experience so incredible.
Need new tires in a hurry? SE Tire has your size tire in stock. Install today. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at SE Tire. We do tires and we do them right. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at Export Tire. We do tires and we do them right. If it has wheels, we have the tires. Export Tire, your commercial tire headquarters.
Go, Vikings.
Top of the second inning coming your way here on the TribLive High School Sports Network with Jay Moan alongside. I'm James Dotson. Nicholas Heekins, Jacob Serraniel, and Wesley Schrock, the 4-5-6 hitters due up for the Valley Vikings.
Nico leads the Valley Vikings with batting average, home runs, and 2 triples.
First pitch catches the zone for strike one. So you got a freshman who's leading in most of the offensive categories there, Jay.
Yes, we do. And like you said, he's starting, and he's going to only get better.
This one bounces in, evens the count at 1-1. Got Mr. Will Allman in the house. As he paces around, he's anxiously waiting for the extra hour and a half, basically, after game one. 1-1 to count. Misses downstairs, makes it 2-1. We jokingly said between the games, Jay, they should know better than to put Neshannock as a first game in a doubleheader, right? Because that's 4 straight playoff games that they've gone into extra innings ever since they beat Riverside right here in that 11-inning marathon.
Well, that's maybe they still probably do it. You know, they figured Neshannock might as well start off with a bang, and they did this game.
Three unassisted on that put out as able to corral it is Mitch Garvin for the first out of the inning. First 4 batters retired. There was a walk, but a pickoff in that first inning.
Number 9, Jacob Straniak.
Mitch Garvin made a nice block of that ball so it didn't get through, and made an easy run to the bag.
Going to throw the ball back in. Home plate umpire Ricky Gaber wants to make sure after it hit off the end of the bat like that there's no potential markings or scratches on it.
Stuck it back in his pouch for later use.
Well, it's good so far. 0-1 to count. Way upstairs. Ronnie Harper, who we saw in the first of the 2-game series against Neshannock, threw in terrible conditions in the game played out at Pullman Park. About 40 degrees, light drizzle the entire game. And I was actually talking to the catcher, Darren McDade, before the game, Jay, and he said any ball that was popped up, I was, even with a mask on, I was putting my hands over my head. I had no idea where it was. That was absolutely abysmal. But Riverside ended up, what was it, a 10-run 5th inning, I think, in that game, Jay, and were able to defeat Neshannock and then walked it off in Game 2 against the Lancers to maintain that perfect record.
I was going to listen to the game. I was on vacation. I heard, it's going to be canceled.
It was at one point, and then I got a message back from the Neshannock coaching staff. It's because I know Coach Quilero, and it's like, hey, hold up. We're playing out at Pullman Park. This one lined into the right center gap. It's going to be a 1-out single, maybe extra bases as rounding first and going into second is Serraniel, and he slides in with the 1-out double. First hit of the game for either team, and it comes for the 17-seeded Valley Vikings.
Nice hard hit ball in the right center field gap.
Wesley Schrock.
So now Wesley Schrock, who leads the team with 16 RBIs, trying to help himself out. Actually, we're going to have an early trip to the mound here, Jay. Interesting, as Coach Dan Oliastro seeing something he's maybe not quite a fan of. Maybe just a chance to calm down his senior left-hander. But while they're doing that, they have action in the bullpen already, Jay.
Yep. Maybe he's not feeling right tonight.
This is a great time to visit the concession stand. We got hot nachos, hot dogs.
That's only the 5th batter, and they could bullpen action already.
Come on by.
The umpire is going to go out and tell them that's break it up, guys. Let's get back to the game. Like I said, that coach has been there a long time, so he probably saw something he didn't like right off the bat, and he figured, go talk about it right now.
1,131 games coached now. That's just at the high school level. You think about games you stay and do a JV game. You think about a summer league game here over the course of 50-plus years.
That's amazing.
Says, hey, what am I going to do, go sit on a rocking chair?
I asked the coach much longer. He says, as long as my health's good, I'm going to coach.
Good inside move from Hunter Garvin. Excuse me, from Ronnie Harper. And he takes a look to Evan Burry. And they put a little play on when there's a runner on second base before every pitch, which is fun to see. That's Evan Burry barking out the signals. Harper, good breaking ball against the lefty for strike one. A lot of lefties in this lineup, so maybe not surprising that they decide to go with the left-handed throwing Ronnie Harper here in this game.
That's probably good coaching move by them.
Good coaching move. No, we never heard that for Riverside. 5 WPIAL championships, 4 state championships.
Ronnie's been struggling since the beginning of the game.
He has yet to find the command of the strike zone, though he has done a good job. 5 of his first pitches to batters have been strikes. You love seeing first pitch strikes. This one roped down the right field line, but it's hooking just foul. And I mean just.
That was rope, like you said. That ball was hit on a line. A little bit too hard, so it had a chance to get into foul territory.
Great crowd on hand for both teams. Valley fans down the third baseline. Riverside fans all along the hill down the first baseline.
They actually have 2 pitchers down there warming up right now. I can't tell who they are.
I believe the one is Christian Lucarelli, the sophomore who's been clocked at 90 miles an hour. Another inside move. Now in Major League Baseball now, he's done that twice in the at-bat. He wouldn't be allowed to do it again, Jay, or it would be a balk. Still glad that they don't have that rule, and I hope they don't bring that rule into the high school game.
Do you like that rule?
No, I'm not a fan.
I'm not either.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Second strikeout for Ronnie Harper. And now 2 away. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the rule just because it changes what baseball is. I mean, if I want to throw over 5 times in a row to make sure somebody doesn't steal, why shouldn't I be allowed to?
I agree with you there completely. Batting now is Dante Tagliani. He's another freshman. He's second in the team with 327 average.
Good job to hold his swing on that first pitch downstairs for ball 1.
A lot of Harper's balls seem to be down low today.
Winner takes on either Freeport or South Allegheny. We're working on finding a score from that one. Those 2 games, the only ones that we don't have finals in already. Upsets in the 7-10 game, Shenango defeating South Park, and also the 5-12 game with Mohawk defeating Greensburg-Salem. Though the word is there were multiple ejections for both teams in that Mohawk-Greensburg-Salem game.
Does that mean they can't play the next game?
If you're ejected, you are out for at least the next game. Depending on review, it could be multiple games.
It's a shame to win a game and not be able to play the next one, especially if it's one of your most valuable players.
Well, next man up mentality, that's what you're going to have if you're Mohawk, and that's what you have to have in general in the playoffs. It's Harper completely in control, wants to make sure everybody on the same page with Jacob Staraniel standing at second base after his one-out double.
Notice how he's walking towards the shortstop.
Getting that deep lead. And then creeping forward. This is good coaching and good base running. Creeping forward so his feet are still moving. And good job to hold the swing there by Taliani. Count even at 2-2. Three quarterfinals matches already set for next week. East Allegheny against Mohawk. Avonworth against Shenango. Yawk against Neshannock.
I heard Avonworth has a pretty good boys baseball team too.
Called. Strike 3. Caught the bottom of the zone and back-to-back backwards Ks. Ronnie Harper gets out of the inning unscathed. To the bottom of the second we go here in the TribLive High School Sports.
Water heater emergencies don't happen at the best times.
Honey, there's no hot water. Mom, the water's freezing.
Get down here quick. At Mr. Water Heater, you'll talk to a real person 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When the last thing you need to worry about is your hot water tank. And for quality service and better than competitive pricing,
call Mr. Water Heater. Call Mr. Water Heater. Call Mr. Water Heater. Call Mr. Water Heater. Call Mr. Water.
Each quarter, In Community Magazines deliver the latest school district and township news, as well as local stories about the people, places, and businesses in your neighborhood. With 31 magazines in the north, south, east, and west suburbs of Pittsburgh, In Community Magazines has you covered. To learn more, visit icmags.com or call 724-942-0940. Again, it's icmags.com.
Best seat in the house is on HSSN.
So Valley with the only hit in the game so far, though that double left stranded on second base. To the bottom of the second inning we go. So lights have turned on here at the AHN Baseball and Softball Complex.
Drake Fox off the bat, comes in batting .353 with one homer.
Winner takes on either Freeport or South Allegheny. Right now it's looking like Freeport as they lead 9-2 in the bottom of the sixth inning. First pitch misses downstairs for ball one. Wesley Schrock, 2 walks in that first inning, but able to work out of it with a backward strikeout to get Mitch Garvin to end the frame. 2-0 the count now here to Fox.
I was surprised Garvin took that pitch the first inning to end it.
Swinging through that fastball was Drake Fox, a little bit behind it. He's hitting .353 on the year, is the designated hitter. Hitting for the pitcher, Ronnie Harper. 3-1 as that one's downstairs. Again, Riverside got the leadoff man on base in the first inning. And they will here as well because this one misses outside for ball 4. So another leadoff walk. Third one issued from Wesley Schrock, and now bring Darren McDade.
A lot of times those walks come back to bite you. We'll see what happens here.
A longtime travel coach in the area and coached Shenango for a couple of years, Mr. Matt Diesel. He's the one who had all the stats on it. A leadoff base runner would score in high school baseball 80% of the time. If 2 guys get on, if you get the second base before and out, over 95% of the time.
I never knew those stats.
That's the numbers he gave, and I mean he was one of the best in terms of giving that sort of information. One of the big friends of the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Nice people to know, get information like that so you can share with the viewers and listeners.
Riverside was unable to score with their leadoff walk in the first inning, and now 2-0 the count to Darren McDade. He's hitting over 400 on the year. Speed pitch there, freezes McDade, makes the count 2-1. Dan Oliastro had the field at Riverside named after him back in 2012. Dan Oliastro Field. Always impressive when you have field named after you, especially when A, you're still alive, and B, you're still coaching. This one, ground ball towards shortstop. Going to be a tough play. They want to play to second, and a good job to quickly flip it over from Storaniel to Taliani
Number 35,
for the
Sam
fielder's
Barber.
choice. Storaniel didn't panic there, Jay. He probably had his coaches a little bit nervous because he took a while, but ended up firing a good one to Taliani to get the first out of the inning.
I think he double clutched to get a good grip in the ball before he threw it, and it was a smart move because it was perfect throw.
8th batter of the game, and we only have 3 official at-bats for Riverside, and going the other way, and they picked him off. McDade running for himself, caught leaning. So we've seen now both lefties with a pickoff here, Jay.
I'll tell you what, you don't see that often, not twice in the same game. Maybe once in a game, not twice in the first couple innings.
So no count, 2 down now to Sammy Barber. Schrock still working from the stretch. Fastball right down Broadway for strike 1. And tell you what, on paper, obviously Riverside the huge favorite, but a lot of momentum in the early going for the Valley Vikings as this one hit off of the foot of the batter in the box. Dead ball, foul ball, makes the count 0-2.
Sonny forgot to tell Valley they weren't supposed to be here. Of course, the game's early.
It is, but you give a little bit of life and a little bit of momentum and a little bit of energy. Anything is possible. 0-2, fouled almost into his own dugout by Barber.
I saw a glove going up in the air and he didn't catch it.
That's Mitch Garvin who reached up for it. Now he has to go run down the first base line to corral the baseball. Count remains 0-2. Breaking ball again fouled. This one back and out of play. Freeport leading South Allegheny late in that game 9-2. Tyler Polk out there at Plum High School for that game. He said, wait a minute, how are you only in the second inning? We started the same time you did.
You thought.
You thought. Outside, 1-2 the count. Tyler joked in talking like, hey, I would love to do any state playoff baseball games. Little does he know what we've seen from some of the teams in this Class 3A from Section 1, the ones that Jay and I are used to covering up north. Might not know what he's asking for.
There's some good baseball up north, that's for sure.
This one's fisted foul down the first base line. Great at bat here. It'll be pitch number 8 coming to Sammy Barber, hitting .366 on the season. Jay, not just good baseball, good softball as well.
Oh.
Riverside Panthers, unfortunate. They got 4 losses all year in the regular season. 2 to Laurel, 2 to Neshannock, and of course they have to play Laurel again in the second round of the playoffs. Not a fan of that seeding. It was a 3-2 final earlier today between the Spartans and the Panthers. Laurel advancing to the semis in that one. This one ground ball, 2-hopper to the second baseman, Taliani. Throw over to first in plenty of time. A walk, a fielder's choice, a pickoff, and a ground out. We've played 2 innings.
Vikings, 0.
And we're scoreless
Panthers,
between the Panthers
0.
and the Vikings on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Best seat in the house is on HSSN.
Hi, my name's Mark, and I am a political science major at Seton Hill University. Initially, I came to Seton Hill for pre-law, but loved my poli-sci classes so much, I made it my focus. Ultimately, my goal is to hold political office and make a positive impact on people's lives. For me, it was the faculty, both in my major and out, that made my Seton Hill experience so incredible.
We've played 2 here from Seneca Valley High School, and we still have no score between the 1 seed Riverside Panthers and the 17 seed Valley Vikings. Jay Moan, it's been a gutsy performance here in the early going. Yes, still a lot of game left, but Valley hanging right here with the top seeded and undefeated Panthers.
And Valley has the only hit of the day so far, too. We'll see what happens. As second time through the lineup, things can change.
It is a final. Freeport defeats South Allegheny by a score of 9-2. So winner of this one will take on Freeport Yellow Jackets, the 8 seed here in the Class 3A tournament. This one's chopped towards third base, and wisely they'll let it go foul and out of play. Let's take a look at those brackets there. So Freeport advances, East Allegheny and Mohawk advance in the top half of the bracket. Avonworth against Shenango, and then York against Neshannock in the bottom half of the bracket. Again, follow us at TribLive HSSN on Twitter and Instagram. We'll have all those updates. Make sure you stay tuned on our website for all that information in terms of where we're going to have games going on next week. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Not sure which classifications will go Monday, Tuesday, which ones will go Tuesday, Wednesday in terms of those doubleheaders. 0-2 the count now to Demetrius Green leading off. It's his 8-9-1 hitters, Green, Sam, and Danko, who are due up. You seen anything from Ronnie Harper here that's concerning to you? He was looked a little shaky in the second inning. Coach Oliaster went and talked to him. Seems to have rebounded fine so far.
He still seems to have everything seems a lot lower than it should be. Even his warm-up pitch, well, that one's right down the middle.
Well, that does make it 3 straight strikeouts. So much for us saying that he might be struggling. Got 4 in his first 2 1/3 innings. Reminder, the 100-pitch limit during the regular season turns into 105. They give all the pitchers an extra 5 throws to use.
I don't know if that makes that much of a difference. You think so?
You know what? You'd be surprised how many games that we've seen in the postseason where if it was 100, they would be pulled with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Or how many games that we've seen even in the regular season that has to happen, and that if it was playoffs, they'd be able to go. So maybe it's just dumb luck that it works out that way, but believe it or not, just from my personal experience, I have seen that keep a player in a couple extra times.
Now, if you have 100 pitches, can you finish the inning?
You can finish the at-bat.
The at-bat,
The at-bat, not the inning. Good job on the breaking ball in the dirt. Gets Sam to chase for the 3-pitch strikeout. Make it now 4 retired in a row by Ronnie Harper on the K.
Top of the order, number 6, Tyler Danko.
First time through the lineup, 7 first-pitch strikes, 2 first-pitch balls. So Harper doing a good job, really, of controlling the zone here so far, Jay.
I'm not sure what the coach said to him. Must have been something good because he's changed a little bit.
First pitch breaking ball misses inside to Tyler Danko. Flew out to center field in his first at-bat.
He came in batting .306, the junior.
2-0 as that one misses downstairs. Five and 7 in section play. They're part of a 3-way tie for the 4th and final spot. Swung and a miss there. Let's see if I get this right. Valley swept Derry. Derry swept Burrell. Burrell swept Valley. Therefore, all 3 with tiebreakers end up in the tournament. Called strike 2 on the outside corner with the breaking ball. Derry won in their game, and Valley gets revenge after losing twice to Burrell in the regular season. So two of those three teams advancing. Just outside, good hold that time from Tyler Danko, and the count runs full.
But like you said, the Valley game was an interesting game. Like to see a replay of that.
It was a tight game. It was back, come from behind effort from Burrell, and Valley was able to hold on. That one's upstairs, and it's a one-out walk. Second walk issued by Ronnie Harper.
Now batting number 10, Alex Wagner.
Now with two down, Wagner will step to the plate.
Wagner was the first walk of the game.
But then was picked off by Ronnie Harper. Two down, top of the third inning. We'll keep an old TribLive tradition between the top and bottom of the third inning. We'll take a look at some of the softball news and notes. Get you some score updates from the Class 3A, 2A, and 1A tournament. We'll look at the lowest three classifications, of which we've gotten 11 of the 12 games already scored and finaled. And the last one is pretty darn close to being done, including a bit of a surprising eyebrow-raising score that we'll have to get your way here in a moment, Jay. That's during our, called our Trib Minute. Always tradition to go and talk about the softball news and notes, the rankings, the brackets between the top and bottom of the third inning. Tradition began many, many years ago. I believe back it was when it was still the Nauticom Sports Network, but kept on throughout the MSA Sports Network, and now with our new branding as the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Riverside has a pitcher out there warming up again.
And it looks like that is number 10, Christian Lucarelli, yet again.
I mean, Ronnie does have four straight Ks, but he has struggled.
Yeah, 4 straight Ks, then the walk issued. 2-1 to count here, pitch number 49 coming out of the left hand of Ronnie Harper, and actually it won't come. It'll be a throw over to first base. And Jay, that's why, when we were talking with Richie Saragnese in the first game that we did here today, that number is very arbitrary, because think about how many times you do that. You throw over to first base, you warm up, you play catch before the game.
It pitched between innings. What do you have, 7 pitches?
Oh, I know home plate umpire Rick Gabriel will be going back and listening to this, so I am not going to say the wrong number. I believe it should be 5 if it's a pitcher who has already been in the game.
Well, maybe I'll watch in between next inning.
Yes, we will, as that one misses upstairs.
Okay. Nope.
Oh, he called it.
He called it a strike.
Yep. That serves me right for stepping back and stretching the back for a minute. Did not see the right hand go up. 2-2 now the count. Runner goes. It's fouled out of play. Count remains 2-2. Now you mentioned Avonworth, both baseball and softball teams, 2 seeds in the Class 3A tournament. They were both victorious today. Let's call that a little sneak peek of our TribLive Minute.
I was down at my granddaughter's band concert last night, since I had a night off, and I was talking to the gentleman. He was saying how good the girls' softball team is.
Yeah, in Class 3A, Avonworth, the number 1 seed, excuse me, not the 2 seed.
They only played 1 playoff game. I guess they 10-run them. Mercy ruled.
Strike 3 on the breaking ball to end the inning. No runs, a walk, and a runner left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the third inning, but we're going to keep it right here as we're going to have our TribLive traditional minute. Let's look at 3A since we're talking about the current 3A bracket. Avonworth in the quarterfinals today against Central Valley. 10-0, so another Mercy Rule victory for the Lady Lopes. They will take on Burrell, the 4 seed, defeated Mohawk today by a 5-1 scoreline. In the bottom of the bracket, Ligonier Valley, they had the upset in the first round, nearly did it again, but Waynesburg Central, the 3 seed, wins 3-2. And how about this one? 2 seed Southmoreland against 7 seed York. Final score, Southmoreland 15, York 14.
Wow.
Wow is right. I told you I'd get one to make your jaw drop.
You definitely did there.
Class 2A, Neshannock make it 43 games in a row for the Lady Lancers, defending state champions 10-0 over Burgettstown. Mentioned Laurel defeated Riverside 3-2. That's the 2 seed. Neshannock will take on Olsh, who defeated Sarah Catholic 6-3. That was a slight upset, 5-4. And Greensburg Central Catholic 4-3 over Charleroi. So it'll be Laurel against Olsh, and Neshannock against Greensburg Central Catholic. And in Class 1A, we know the bottom half of the bracket. Carmichael's 13-3, Mercy rule over Leechburg. They will take on the Fraser Commodores, 12-2 victors over Jefferson Morgan. So Carmichael's against Fraser. Chartiers Houston, they're big winners over West Green, 11-3. So it's all chalk there. Union and Jeanette going on right now. Last score update we had, I got it right here, 12-0 after 2 innings. Union up in that one. So the defending champion Scotty's certainly on a good path again to potentially make it to the WPIAL championship game. Riverside still looking for their first hit in this game, Jay, as they will send 9-1-2 hitters up to the plate. Seth Hayes, Evan Burry, and Aston Slosher.
Seth Hayes.
Wesley Schruck is just throwing some nice pitches, keeping them off bounds.
One strikeout, 3 walks. His pitch count a little higher than you'd probably want after 2 innings. This is pitch number 40 that's on the way. It's off the end of the bat, but past the diving third baseman. Good attempt by Hoover, but a vacuum couldn't quite scoop it up there at third base.
Just got done saying no hits, and there it was.
But take a look again. Riverside has been out in front of a lot of these pitches, Jay. Everything's felt like it was off the end of the bat so far today. That one just able to squeak by the diving third baseman.
I thought the third baseman had a good chance to catch that ball with the left of bat.
Now top of the order, Evan Burry to the plate. Scoreless in the third. The Dan Oleastro Book of Secrets probably says you're sacrificing and moving the runner over. Not yet. We're going to have time called in the box.
Doesn't look like they have the arm helpers, arm coaches, I've heard them say.
Yeah, no, wrist coach.
Wrist coach.
That's what our friend Randy Gore of North Allegheny Sports Network heard him call. Well, he and your brother Limon doing double duty. Did a softball game at 3 o'clock and then doing the men's volleyball tournament here tonight. Wild pitch back to the screen. It's a sacrifice without the sacrifice.
I imagine Burry's going to be swinging away now.
Yeah, runner in scoring position. Burry, who walked but was stranded on third in his first at bat. Just inside, makes the count 2-0 now to the shortstop. 9 RBI on the season for the leadoff man. This one flared towards right field, giving chases Green, and he's going to be chasing for a while. It lands over his head. 2 hops the wall. 1 run will score. Thinking about 3, but didn't get a signal in time. He probably had a chance to get to 3, but he'll lay the hammer down at second base. Evan Burry, RBI number 10 of the year, and your first run of the game.
I think if he would have took right out of the box on a fly, he would have made it to third base with no problem.
Now batting number 22, Ashton Schlosser.
So Burry and Hayes switch places, still nobody down. Ashton Schlosser to the plate. And maybe just took one time through the order, Jay, for the Riverside backs to wake up and, again, maybe a little extra time off, getting used to this new left-handed pitcher.
Like I said, there's a long wait in between the first game and this game to start. So
that's very true. This one's fisted foul and out of play down the third baseline. Evens the count at 1-1.
I think I agree with your philosophy, though, the second time through the lineup. Yep.
Baseball delivery to our home plate umpire. A big shout out to Mr. Simmons. That's Mason Simmons, who's your ball delivery man out there for the Valley Vikings. Well, for the second time this week, Jay, we've got the last game broadcast of the night.
As long as I'm broadcasting, I don't care if it's the first, last, or middle.
Or everything in between as that breaking ball catches the inside quarter. Makes the count 1 and 2. Swung on and missed. Big breaking ball to get the strikeout. And how about this? Why is that impressive, Jay? That's only the 6th time all year Aston Schlosser has struck out.
I think he took a little bit of a big cut instead of trying to make contact. It is impressive, though, that he got the strikeout.
Grooving on that first pitch to Bo Fornatero was Wesley Schrock, strike 1. Still a runner in scoring position, 1 down. Riverside already run across here in the 3rd, but now 0-2, the count to Fornatero.
That's a high fastball he couldn't stay off of.
And it looked like Schrock brought a little extra mustard on that one. 0-2 the count, and Schrock will step off. First baseman Scholl is going to come over and may have seen something or wanted to communicate to his pitcher. Colin Scholl taking charge out there. I'd say good senior leadership, but he's just a junior because there are no seniors on this team.
No, there isn't.
Schrack, Danko, and Storaniel are the only 3 Valley Vikings with playoff experience before their preliminary pigtail round game on Tuesday night, I should say. Count remains 0-2. And again, Wes Schrock will step off, regather. He's been in control. He gets this one again to foul back into the screen. Count remain 0-2. Fornatero 5 doubles on the season. Right now just looking to get something into play here, and it is a deep ballpark. We estimate 325 down the left field line, but there is a high fence down both left and right field. Probably about 340, 350 down right field, and well over 400 into dead center and into the left center power gap. I remember a few years ago they had the sign up there. I want to say it was 415.
This is the first time I've ever been to this ballpark, so I never knew what it was.
Beautiful complex here, the softball field. You can see in the distance out in right field. Swung on and missed, back-to-back strikeouts. And now 2 away. Strikeout number 2 and 3 on the evening for Wesley Schrock, and 8 strikes out the number 2 and 3 hitters.
Some high heat there they couldn't catch up with.
Left-handed hitter Hunter Garvin now to the plate.
Run on second with no outs, and he hasn't moved.
That's Evan Burry, who has the only RBI now of this game. Downstairs, and it got behind the catcher, but Burry at second base did not see it trickle under the glove of Van Yeer.
Go 13.
Hunter Garvin at the plate hitting .409. Watches a beauty of a breaking ball over the heart of the plate. There for strike 1.
That pitch froze him.
Garvin, who leads the team with 4 of their 9 home runs on the season. He hits this one the other way, but foul into the Valley bullpen. Count now 1-2.
Low behind in that pitch.
This one, he drills towards center field, going back on it, settling under it, and it goes out the top of the glove. Danko couldn't hold on. It's going to be 2 bases, maybe 3. No, they will hold in. Danko could not quite reel it in. He had a beat on it, Jay, but at the last second, I think he just took the glove out a little bit too soon. It slowed him down, hit off the end of the glove. I think that's a tough one, but I think you ruled the double. We'll see. Well, you know what? We're going to go off of the Riverside game changer, which says reach on an error, so we will agree with them.
I agree with that.
The rule of thumb we always say in high school ball is it a routine play? That's what longtime broadcaster Lanny Fratteri has always said. Certainly would not have been a routine catch, but one that probably should have been made. A swing and a miss. On that one in the dirt to Mitch Garvin.
Mitch took a called strike 3 looking in the first inning.
That was on a 2-2 count, now facing an 0-2 count. This one misses outside. That was pitch number 59. Base hit up the middle, rounding third and heading to the plate is Hunter Garvin. Throw to the plate will be not in time. Great slide around the tag, and advancing to second base on the throw is Mitch Garvin. 2 out, RBI single, taking advantage. That will be another unearned run after the error, 3-0 Riverside. Well, it took a couple of innings, but now 3 hits.
14, Drake.
Here in the bottom of the third.
And that big error.
That's going to get a trip out to the mound. For the Valley Vikings. So again, let's take a look while we have a moment at our brackets for Class 3A baseball. We're the only game that's left. Freeport victorious over South Allegheny. East Allegheny will face Mohawk. Avonworth will face Shenango. And then York against Neshannock. Again, all those games will be back-to-back days, either Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday. Jay, how do you like that back-to-back in terms of needing to use multiple pitchers?
I like that because a lot of times in the past, you had an ace pitcher, and you just let him pitch the whole tournament. It's not really fair, I don't think. What do you think?
I wouldn't mind even giving 1 day in between. I mean, me being media biased, that makes it a little easier on us. But it also can play a little strategy because, you know, for example, if you think you got the game in control, you can pull your pitcher at their 50 pitches. He can throw 2 days later. You throw over 25, you're done the next day. So I think it brings a little more strategy if you have 1 day in between. But when you do that, then you run the risk a lot more easily of having the weather issues and having the 1 game, 1 day turn into 2 days, turn into 3 days.
Yeah, this weather's really been interesting this spring so far.
Yeah, we had that almost entire week washout. A lot of teams having to play games on Saturday, or we saw one up in District 10 our way, Jay, that was played on Sunday, on Mother's Day, for a region game, yes.
Wow.
Anything to get the games in. 3-0 the count. It's a 4-pitch walk to Drake Fox. 2 on, 2 out. And Darren McDade will come to the plate.
Catcher number 33, Darren McDade.
Second walk for Drake Fox.
Back to the action, Darren McDade. First pitch swinging. It fouls back off the helmet of the catcher. Wagner seems to be all right.
The umpire's giving a couple extra seconds there.
Being told Valley, all those left-handed batters, talk about that's why you might throw a left-handed pitcher. Well, sounds of it from reports we just got up here in the press box that Valley has not seen a left-handed pitcher against them all year, especially in their section, all righties. And so far, Ronnie Harper's held Valley to just one hit. Good job to hold the swing there as well by Darren McDade, says Kyle Bonner there at first base. The 1-1 popped up on the right side of the infield, and it's going to be a tough play, but then able to settle under it is Taliani to get the third out of the inning. But Riverside sends 8 runners to the plate, 3 runs, only 1 was earned on 3 hits and an error. And a couple of runners left on the bags. 3 complete. Riverside with a 3-0 lead. The top seed in Class 3A leads on the TribLive High School Sports.
Hi, my name's Mark, and I am a political science major at Seton Hill University. Initially, I came to Seton Hill for pre-law, but loved my poli-sci classes so much, I made it my focus. Ultimately, my goal is to hold political office and make a positive impact on people's lives. For me, it was the faculty, both in my major and out, that made my Seton Hill experience so incredible.
Need new tires in a hurry? SE Tire has your size tire in stock. Install today. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at SE Tire. We do tires and we do them right. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at Export Tire. We do tires and we do them right. If it has wheels, we have the tires. Export Tire, your commercial tire headquarters.
Before we get going in the top of the 4th inning, need to remind you that this game and the broadcast rights to this game are the sole and exclusive property of the WPIAL and the TribLive High School Sports Network. Any broadcast of this game is intended exclusively for the benefit of the viewing and listening audience. Any use, rebroadcast, or distribution of this broadcast without the express written consent from the WPIAL and from Trib Total Media is strictly prohibited. Jay Moan, that was my weakest one of the year.
I thought the first game was pretty weak, and that was definitely weaker.
I got control of the volume over here, Jay. That's Jay Moan. I'm James Dotson. Glad to have coverage here at Seneca Valley High School.
You have any pole vault throwing tonight?
Before we get going here, we're going to have another conversation out at the mound.
Great time to remind you that for your convenience, there's a concession stand.
Great time to remind you. How about this, Jay? I haven't had a chance to talk about this yet. Your baseball and softball championships are presented by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Here for the WPIAL championships at Wild Things Park for baseball and at Cal University's Lilly Field. You'll have giveaways, Bucco's, what's the word I'm looking for? Bucco's Fanatics. You'll have the Pirate Parrot making an appearance. We're being told that couple of the pierogies might be having a race or two at the championship games. Baseball on Tuesday and Wednesday after Memorial Day, so that's on the 30th and 31st. Apologize for the shrieking fan below us. And then the softball championships on Wednesday the 31st and Thursday, June 1st. This one's fouled back to the screen, 1-1, or now 1-2, excuse me, to count.
Conrad Hoover, the batter.
3, 4, 5 hitters due up for Valley. First time they've trailed, top of the 4th inning. There's a chance for them to kickstart their offense. Now would be an ideal time.
They only have the 1 hit.
And they have strikeout victim number 6. And the second time Hoover has gone down on strikes.
Left fielder Nico Beacons.
7 strikeouts for Ronnie Harper through the first 3 1/3. So 7 of the 10 Valley batters have been retired on a strikeout.
We both think he's struggling, but
yeah,
he's getting the Ks.
Well, we say he's struggling because we've seen what he can do. But what I will say is that he is staying in control, taking that deep breath. And now after time was granted to Heekins, now some miscommunication. Again, you wonder how many night games have teams played. We know Riverside played a game out at historic Pullman Park, Jack Critchfield Field, out there in Butler. And in that game out there, it was misty, it was rainy, and there were times that we thought for sure that Ronnie Harper was actually getting a pitching sign from one of the fielders. Called strike down at the knees.
I wonder how often she's going to do that.
As long as it keeps me awake. We're an hour into this game after a 3-hour marathon in game 1. No time limit in baseball, and that's fine for us traditionalists, but this guy's back is starting to give out on us, as that was strike 2, not strike 3, though Darren McDade snapped it down to Sammy Barber at third base. Good thing he was paying attention.
Yeah, I was wondering why he threw the ball down to him, because I thought that was only strike 2, but he sort of chuckled a little bit behind the batter there.
The 0-2. Good job to hold on that breaking ball. A good block behind the dish again by McDade. How about this? Lee is done with his game already.
Oh, he already told me that.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner. That's 3 straight Ks, and now 8 in the game from Harper. When you have that great breaking ball, then you can kind of sneak the fastball by him sometimes, and that's exactly what Harper did there.
5 out of his last 6 batters have gone down on strikes, with a walk in between.
Impressive stuff from the senior left-hander. Getting the call here in the opening round game. First pitch outside corner. First strike 1.
Riverside's going to have to string some hits together.
Strayanek hitting .274 for Valley. Off-speed pitch, waves at it, does Strayanek for strike 2. Strayanek 8 RBI, including 4 doubles on the season. Harper up 0-2. Good block again on the 58-foot breaking ball. And now after a couple of curveballs in a row, Jay, does he come back with another one, or does he gas it up on the 1-2?
I would say heat. I'll probably be wrong here.
Yeah, you can see catcher not giving traditional signs. He's giving him almost like a third base coach, and he freezes him. Called strike 3. Harper strikes out the side in order. 9 strikeouts on the evening. Back in a moment. 3-0 Riverside on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
That was awesome.
Water heater emergencies don't happen at the best times.
Honey, there's no hot water. Mom, the water's freezing.
Get down here quick.
At Mr. Water Heater, you'll talk to a real person 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When the last thing you need to worry about is your hot water tank. And for quality service and better than competitive pricing,
Call Mr. Water Heater. Call Mr. Water Heater. Mr. Water Heater. Call Mr. Water Heater. Call Mr. Water Heater.
Riverside put up 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They're looking to increase their 3-0 lead here in the opening round game. Again, the last game of our first round games in Class 3A, called strike 1, as it's 8-9-1. Barber, Hayes, and Burry due up. Down and in, evens the count at 1-1.
Now batting number
Barber, who
35,
grounded
Sam
out
Barber.
in the 2nd inning. Barber, who we joked last inning, Jay, glad he was paying attention. Otherwise, he could have had his head taken off by his catcher.
That would have hurt, too, because he really threw the ball down there.
Yeah, we call it the hot corner. I'm not sure that's the reason. It's McDade, if you're just tuning in. Thought it was strike 3, threw the ball around the 3rd base, and it was only strike 2. That is strike 2 as well. Evens the count at 2-2 as it freezes Barber in the inside corner. Wesley Schrock, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, 3 hits, and only 1 earned run of those 3 here so far.
He's doing a nice job.
2-2, and this one in the Pebbles. Count runs full to the leadoff batter. How about this? Riverside has had the leadoff man on base in all 3 innings so far. Payoff pitch, can they do it again? They can, because it's another leadoff walk. 4 walks, and 3 of them have been leadoff walks.
Number 17, Seth
issued
Hayes.
by Wesley Schrock. And if you can be critical about anything of him today, Jay, it's probably that right there.
Yeah, you don't want to walk too many people, especially this potent lineup that Riverside has.
I mean, they all see the ball so well, and I think that's part of it right there, too, is that runner gets on, especially with nobody out, it's almost a guarantee to second base, because a lot of times Riverside squares the bunt like they do here, perfectly executed by Hayes. They're going to try to go to second base, and not in time. Sacrifice and fielder's choice, everybody on base. Well, Schrock did everything correctly. He heard the teammates yelling to go to second, and they did.
Looks like he hesitated just a second, which come back to bite him there.
Yeah, and it wasn't his strongest throw either.
No.
You wonder if he didn't get the perfect grip on it, and it's very different throwing off of the rubber and then all of a sudden happen to be that PFP pitcher fielding the position. So Barber at second, Hayes at first, without a hit and without an out. Now will Evan Burry move them over? He will try to. Fastball misses way upstairs for ball 1.
He had a big double last inning.
He squares the bunt again, and it's upstairs. 18 batters faced, 9 first pitch strikes, 9 first pitch balls thrown by Wesley Schrock, but he's down 2-0. Again, squaring a bunt even on the 2-0, and it's going to be towards third base and foul. Wynn will take on Freeport. They were 9-2 winners in the 8-9 game over South Allegheny. Everybody off tomorrow because we've had great weather, and it looks like, at least early in the week next week, everything looking pretty dandy.
I'm sure get as many games on as you can.
Don Rebel will have all the schedules coming out. Thanks to him and Justin LeBar, all they do for us here at TribLive High School Sports Network. 3-1 the count to Evan Burry. Will he square a bunt again? He will. And he gets the bunt down to third base, and they're going to tag him out as he tried to slide under the tag issued by Scholl. So sacrifice 3 unassisted. Moves 2 runners into scoring position, and this is what Riverside does best. They don't care about getting a 5, 6, 7 run inning. They want to guarantee that they're getting 1 or 2 or 3. Like, those are the innings they want.
And it's proven early that anybody in that team, no matter who you are, will bunt the ball.
Coach Dan Oliastro has done it for 55 years. 688 wins in his career. I think he knows a little bit of something. That's just varsity wins. That doesn't count, summer ball, travel ball, any of that stuff. First pitch swinging is Ashton Schlosser for strike 1.
Like you said at the beginning, they're very fundamentally sound. And a lot of teams don't know how to bunt. There might be one or two kids in the team can bunt. Most of them do not know how to bunt.
Way out in front of that one. Great pitch from the lefty. Schrock now up 0-2 against Schlosser, who has 16 RBI and has the team's highest batting average. And Coach Oleastro saw something he didn't like on that swing. Coach Oleastro, 688 wins. That is the most in WPIAL history. Set that record, I believe it was the first game of the year last year. At 660, I believe that was the official number. He is not the highest in state history, though. And he's not the highest active coach. Scott Buffington from out in Schuylkill Haven. Last count, he was at 696 and still going. That was about a week ago. So he's approaching 700 career wins. Coach O, about 8 wins behind him.
But is he the oldest coach in the WPIAL?
In the WPIAL, I would say absolutely. Just missed outside.
That was a hard pitch to take.
Looked like hit the spot, and Coach asking, Vanier said, yep, just off the plate. He may have been set up outside. Kind of tough to see from our vantage point, from where we're standing in the press box. Producer Rob Natel, from our strike zone cam, and again, it's not quite on. Yeah, maybe. Now, he and I know, are both advocates of having a bigger strike zone. Make the kids hit. 2-2, trying to check his swing, and yes, he did. So Schlosser strikes out on the breaking ball. Second out of the inning.
Second straight strikeout for Schlosser.
And then he turned and said something to home plate umpire Ricky Gabriel, and he was not pleased. They're going to say, yes, it is a foul ball. Good catch, Rob Natel, to hit the bat. I was going to say, with how adamant Schlosser was. And a good job to go out and talk and confer with your base umpires throughout 3-man crews, which you haven't had throughout the whole regular season, but 3-man crews for all of these playoff games. You'll have 4-man crews in the championships, and you'll have 4-man crews, I believe, for all the, for sure 6A, but I believe 5A playoff games as well. Count now full to Schlosser. 2 runners in scoring position with 1 down. Infield playing back. This is outside. And tough to see, but again, it looked like the catcher might have been setting up just outside. Schrock hit his spot there, Jay, but catcher off the plate. Bases loaded, and Bo Fornatero coming to the dish. He's 0 for 2 today.
Number 30, Bo Fornatero.
The umpire makes the final call.
Corners are up, trying to cut the run off at home. Middle infield trying for the double play. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. Fornatero, 21 ribbies on the season. That one right down Broadway, count even at 1-1. Ground out and a strikeout. So far today for Fornatero. He's out in front of this one, popped up down the first base line, but because the infield playing in, first baseman is unable to come up with it. Unfortunate there for Scholl, because if he plays normal depth, he's probably catching that one, Jay.
I'll tell you what, he made a nice break in that ball, and he just was a little bit behind it. I thought he had a pretty good chance when he took off after that. Just carried a little bit more than we thought it was going to.
Did everything right. Turned, sprinted, tried to find it, but could not get to it. So extra life for Fornatero. Count 1-2. Schrock sets and delivers. Another one fouled out of play. And really, other than the deep fly ball to center field that was hit by Hunter Garvin last inning, and maybe you can say the fly ball to right from Burry that kind of carried, really haven't had a lot of hard hit balls from this Riverside team.
No, they're just behind all the pitches.
This is inside, count even at 2-2, and you hear the Riverside dugout yelling, "Wear it." Fornatero has worn it a couple times this year. Here's the 2-2. Downstairs, and the count runs full. Nowhere to put him.
Good job in the catcher just to bluff a throw to third base.
And here's the other thing to keep an eye on. That was pitch number 94 thrown from Wesley Schrock, and we're still in the bottom of the 4th inning. Inside move, and no one home at second base. Barber at third, Hayes at second, Schlosser at first. Payoff pitch coming to Fornatero from Schrock. Swung on and missed. Another big K. His 4th of the game.
Bases loaded for the left fielder, number 3.
Bases still loaded, and it's Hunter Garvin to the plate, and he's the one who hit that long fly ball to center field that Danko just could not quite hang on to it. And look where he's playing now, well behind that Seneca Valley logo.
There's a big gap in left center field where the ball went last time, though.
Left-handed hitting left fielder. Watches the first pitch for ball 1.
A big hit would break this game open right now.
Base is still full of Panthers. Good breaking ball and a good hold. That's the other thing, too. I mean, we don't talk about it enough, Jay. It is great plate discipline from Riverside on those early breaking balls. Just well taught and well coached. Another breaking ball inside corner. Even though those are strikes, those are pitches early in the count you don't want to be swinging at. But now with 2 strikes,
you're going to have to.
Garvin will change the approach.
Look at the depth of the outfielders.
0-2, great block. Avenier behind the plate. Count now even. 2-2 with 2 down. Base is still loaded. Downstairs. And now everyone will be off and running with the pitch. Full count, 2 down, bases loaded.
What do you think he's going to come with, James?
Got to be your best pitch of the day. I'll tell you what, he's throwing that breaking ball pretty well. If you have confidence in it, I'm throwing it. Here's the payoff pitch from Wesley Schrock, and it's downstairs. An RBI the easy way. With the bases loaded, everyone advances 90 feet. Barber scores. It's now 4-0.
First baseman, number 9, Mitch Garvin.
So a run scored in the inning for Riverside without a hit.
How many pitches is that, James? 97?
He's now 101 after that batter. So this will...
Well, that's 105, that's right.
It's 105 now, correct.
Okay.
In the playoffs, yep, if this was regular season, he would be done.
Now he can finish this batter.
He can still go 4 more pitches before he's done. But he can pitch, if he needed to, he could pitch 20 pitches to this batter as long as you start the batter before the 105 cutoff.
Okay.
Which I think the most I saw in a playoff game a couple years ago, I think it finished with 111. Last batter he faces like a 7 or 8 pitch at bat. First pitch swinging and fouling it off is Mitch Garvin, hitting .370 on the season. He has an RBI single. That's his team high 23rd of the year. Base hit here would break the game open. Ground ball between short and third, and that's going to get into the outfield. Rounding third and being held at third is Schlosser. Everybody moves up 90 feet, and another run across for the Panthers.
Good, strong throw from left fielder Nico Heekins.
Aston Schlosser didn't get the greatest jump off of the bat. And now at 103 pitches, they might pull him just a little bit early. I know he didn't last through the 4th inning. Threw a lot of pitches here, Jay, but honestly, a great pitching performance from the left-hander, Wesley Schrock.
He kept Riverside completely at bay the whole game he was in.
Just started to get used to him a little bit, and that's only the 4th hit for Riverside in the game, and actually that one not the hardest hit ball in the world either. So we're going to have a pitching change. We're going to step aside, pay a couple bills, be back with all those changes when we return. It's 5-0 Riverside here in the TribLive High School.
Each quarter, In-Community Magazines deliver the latest school district and township news, as well as local stories about the people, places, and businesses in your neighborhood. With 31 magazines in the north, south, east, and west suburbs of Pittsburgh, In-Community Magazines has you covered. To learn more, visit icmags.com or call 724-942.
That was awesome.
Need new tires in a hurry? SE Tire has your size tire in stock. Install today. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at SE Tire. We do tires and we do them right. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at Export Tire. We do tires and we do them right. If it has wheels, we have the tires. Export Tire, your commercial tire headquarters.
Greg Fox off the bat right now. 0 for 1 with the walk last time up. Bases full of Riverside Panthers. Two-0 and a batter. Nowhere to put him. Danko's going to have to come up with some strikes here. Foul back. 2-1 count.
8th batter of the inning here for the Panthers. Great breaking ball. 4 strike 2. The 8th appearance of the year for Danko. 1 strike away from getting out of a jam. Breaking ball called strike 3. Throws him on the outside corner. 2 more runs on just 1 hit, but the base is left loaded. 5-0 Riverside. Back in a moment on the TribLive High School Sports.
Coaches, success in the spring on the diamond begins all the way back in the fall. Get your team ready for the spring sports season by joining the Western Pennsylvania Fall Baseball League. For nearly 2 decades, the WPFBL has hosted some of the top teams in the WPIAL and beyond to hone their skills in a competitive yet developmental environment. Over 60 teams compete in a 6-week fall season, which features Saturday doubleheader games in your region, followed by the playoffs for just $250 plus umpire fees. Coaches can choose to play based on a geographic location and school size, can choose to compete in the varsity division, and to get accustomed to 60-90 baseball in the JV division. For more information or to sign up for the WPFBL, call League President Brian Zarenza or visit WPFBL.totalcamps.com.
be 6, 7, 8 hitters coming to the dish. Schrock, Taliani, and Green due up to face Ronnie Harper, and he's been dealing. 63 pitches thrown so far, Jay, and
Leading off number 13,
9
Wesley
strikeouts
Schrock.
versus 2 walks. He's only allowed 1 hit so far.
And he struck out the last 6 batters he's faced.
There was a walk squeezed in there as well, but you're right. Back to leadoff batter, Tyler Danko now pitching. He's the only one who has not been a strikeout victim so far. First pitch downstairs for ball 1. Schrock now in the outfield. Three and 2/3 innings, by the way, for Schrack officially. 5 runs, of which 3 were earned on 4 hits. He struck out 4 and walked 6.
The walks did come back to bite him.
I was going to say a few too many walks, but still a very impressive performance from the junior.
Especially it's a good Riverside hitting team.
Yeah, in fact, Riverside has only mustered 4 hits in this game. To me, it's pretty impressive.
Very. I'm surprised the K's he got too.
Yeah, 4 strikeouts.
Like you said earlier, they do not strike out very much at all.
2-1 coming from Harper is driven towards the left center gap, and this will be extra bases. Second hit of the game for Valley, and it will be a leadoff double.
Coming up to bat,
Nicely
number
shot.
5, Dante Taliani.
On a rope. So 2 hits, but they're both extra base hits.
That was the hardest hit ball of the night, I believe, for Valley.
I believe you're right.
Left fielder just turned and started running towards the fences.
And part of it, too, first time they've had a leadoff batter on base. Hey, we got something for your wall photography that's in the house right now. Gives me some images on her website. Search something for your wall on Google, on Facebook, or whatever method you use to search engine the World Wide Web. This one hit towards center field, but right at Fornatera. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning.
Right into the cutoff man, too. Nice play. Hard hit ball, but right to center fielder.
So 1 down, situation stays the same. Demetrius Green steps to the plate.
Number 20, Demetrius Green.
Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Blew that ball right by him.
Green hitting 200 on the year. All singles on the season for the right fielder. Ball gets by the catcher, and wow, it actually ricocheted all the way back. Holding at second base was Schrack because it is a short backstop. But the way that one bounced right back, I don't know if it hit the concrete behind or what, but it went past McDade twice.
I didn't even see it. I looked out, and the ball's partway back to the pitcher's mound.
So Union did end up getting softball the 15-run rule over Jeanette. So we are officially the last game going on here at Seneca Valley High School. Called strike on the outside corner. Now 1-2 the count to Green. Cafano Sam in the on-deck circle. He's 0 for 1. Class 3A, first round. For the 2023 WPIAL Championships presented by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now 2-2. Harper looking for his 10th strikeout of the game. Valley had a 4-run third inning in their opening round game. They need a couple innings like that to work their way back into this one. Breaking ball didn't come out of the hand right, and the count runs full.
He wasn't happy with that pitch.
Now, as a former pitcher, that's the one you hated the most, was when you threw that breaking ball and it just slipped out of your hand a little funny. It's all about the release point. It's so difficult to get that release point right spot on, especially with that breaking ball.
He stepped off the mound and get a little composure there. He was very upset and threw the ball down on the ground. Talked himself a little bit. Now he's ready to go.
Payoff pitch. Ground ball right side. Will be taken by Garvin. That's Mitch Garvin, who steps on the bag himself for the second out of the inning. And sometimes that talking to yourself and taking a deep breath can become a bad thing, or sometimes, like we saw right there, a good thing. Induces the ground out as a result, and Schrack will go over to third base. It looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter, number 18. Is that 18 or 16? It's a 16, coming to the plate. Colin Scholl. So actually, that's Colin Scholl, who is being the DH for by Carfano Sam. So Scholl is going to hit for himself.
Pinch hitter 16, Colin Scholl.
So not truly a pinch hitter, I guess, because it's just the first baseman entering the game for himself to hit for himself. I'm not sure what else you would call it, though. So
I guess he has to be a pinch hitter because he hasn't batted yet tonight.
First time Valley has gotten a runner to third base here tonight. The first pitch misses upstairs. Scholl has a couple of RBI on the season. But hitting below the Mendoza line on the year coming into today's game. Breaking ball, a little high floater, and it's going to be bobbled and dropped in foul territory by Mitch Garvin.
Mitch jumped. I don't think he really had to.
That one, because it went off the fist, off the handle, had a little bit of weird spin, and I think the ball kind of floated in the air, like you said, Jay, a little longer than you thought.
He's kicking the dirt over there. He's upset with himself. It's new a play he could make 99 times out of 100.
So that actually goes down as an E3, even though it is a foul ball. Strike two on the inside corner. Great pitch there from Ronnie Harper. Count now 1-2. Schrack, the leadoff double. He's at third. Two down, the 1-2. Called strike three, and
oh, is he okay?
Ronnie Harper went down hard. He slipped and went to the turf as he delivered that pitch. Saw a lot of that last year during the state playoff game between Riverside and the Shannock. We haven't seen it at all in 2 games today, but that one there, he goes to the ground, and maybe that was a little distraction too. His 10th strikeout is a backwards K to retire the side and leave a runner in scoring position. We've played 5. It's 5-0. That's what we've played 5.5. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th when we return on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Hi, my name's Mark, and I am a political science major at Seton Hill University. Initially, I came to Seton Hill for pre-law, but loved my poli-sci classes so much, I made it my focus. Ultimately, my goal is to hold political office and make a positive impact on people's lives. For me, it was the faculty, both in my major and out, that made my Seton Hill experience so incredible.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $25 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapies necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game. We're going to have a pinch hitter to begin the bottom of the fifth for Riverside, leading 5-0 are the undefeated and top-seeded Panthers. It's going to be Zach Hare, the sophomore, batting. It's 7, 8, 9 due up. McDade, Barber, and Hayes are the 3 due up, but now, as you just mentioned, Zach Hare will be pinch hitting. And not a bad pinch hitter to have. 11 plate appearances, 3 for 6. So 500 average to pinch hit, leading off this bottom of the 5th inning. Riverside maybe looking for a bit of a spark. I know they're up 5-0, Jay, but they haven't exactly hit the cover off the ball here tonight.
I know. I saw the coach go over to McFade, and then for some reason he said, "You're coming out."
So McDade hitting over 400 coming into this year, but 0 for 2 tonight. And now 0 and 2, make it 1 and 2 as that one just misses downstairs to the pinch hitter. Tyler Danko, who struck out Drake Fox, looking to end the bottom of the 4th. Now his first full inning of relief. Came in a tough spot, Jay. Bases loaded, 2 down. Gets the DH to strike out.
Froze him on an off-speed pitch.
That one swung on and missed, and the ball bounced all the way back to the pitcher. This could be a very unconventional strikeout, 1-3. Well, see something new almost every day when we're doing this job, Jay. I'm not sure I've ever seen a strikeout completed with the pitcher.
I don't think I have either. Usually the catcher does that, but not the pitcher.
Number 35, Sam Barber.
Sammy Barber, 0 for 1, walked and scored in the 4th. Third baseman steps up to the plate. How about Danko coming right in, gets a pair of Ks. Wonder, though, if on that last pitch, Jay, if it may have crossed up the catcher Vanier, because strikeout swung on a miss, but I don't think the catcher got a piece of it at all.
Oh, I don't think he did either.
So I don't know, he might have been expecting a breaking ball, and it whizzed right by him.
The pitch looked pretty well in the zone, too. It's not like it was in the dirt or anything like that.
And these lights are very interesting, too. Tough to see on our cameras, Jay, but when you look at them, the lights are pointing straight down. So if a ball gets above the lights, I would think it's got to be pretty tough to track if you're out in the outfield. Good breaking ball there for strike 2. Evens the count at 2-2 to Barber. Certainly not the type of lighting that you see, or like we saw at Pullman Park. That was a rough evening that Riverside had to deal with. As this breaking ball misses way outside, I think another one that may have crossed up the catcher, and that's part of it. What I remember as a pitcher, as Rick Gabriel actually tells the catcher, please go out and talk to him, because that's twice you guys have not been on the same page. That's what I noticed was the most difficult there, Jay, was actually getting the sign from pitcher to catcher.
I've never...
Or from catcher to pitcher, I mean.
Okay.
So that sometimes you just could not see 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers. Not to be confused with what will be consumed tonight. 1 out walk drawn by Sammy Barber. Second time he's made it to first base on the free pass. Now Seth Hayes to the plate. Funny story about Seth.
17, Seth.
We did a broadcast of their game against Neshannock we talked about earlier, Jay, and I talked to one of the assistant coaches afterwards and said, hey, by the way, it's not Sean Hayes, it's Seth Hayes. The official roster on the WPIAL website had just accidentally written it as Sean Hayes.
Because that's where I got
That's
it.
what you had, right?
Yep.
So that was one that only because I was there waiting for it.
And Max Prep actually had it for Sean Hayes, too.
That's crazy.
Of course, Max Prep, I can't always trust them.
No, I mean, I appreciate the teams, especially in the last few years, that have started putting all their game changer stats that automatically sync to max preps makes it very easy. This one misses inside and gets away. So a couple of wild pitches. Moves Barber from first all the way over to third.
With no sacrifice.
None needed for Seth, but it was funny because the coaches, they went back and listened and watched the game afterwards, and they were joking about it. And they said the next couple games afterwards, anytime that Hayes, maybe was, thinking about something too much, was in his head a little bit, the coaches from the dugout were, hey, Sean, stay in there. And just, get your mind off things. So for that, to Coach Eliastro and his staff, I say you're welcome. 3-0 the count. And they've all missed pretty wildly out of the zone. Runners on the corners after a pair of one-out walks issued by Danko.
I'm surprised one of the parents or something didn't say, hey, what are you calling him Seth for? Or Sean for?
They didn't until they went and watched it afterwards. And usually we get one of those talks on Twitter. I mean, and it's just so unfortunately easy to do. Our Twitter page, going copy and paste. One time it autocorrected from shady side to south side, and then you don't even realize it. And then 3 innings later, you're still saying that it's south side that's leading the Shannick, and that's just unfortunate what you have to deal with. Double steal coming here, and they're going to get the steal of home. And now trying to go all the way to third on the play. Slide head first and no throw. So Seth Hayes steals second. The throw was cut off by Taliani. The throw was just a little bit low, so he took it a second to adjust and throw it home. That throw home went wild, so that'll be the first error of the game that gets Seth Hayes to third base. But on the steal of home, the double steal, the 6th run on the board for Riverside.
I think if they would have let the throw go, he was out at second, but I was smart trying to cut off and get the runner at home plate.
Yeah, they are doing exactly that. Needed to cut that run off. 1-1 now the count to Evan Burry, 4th time through the lineup for the Panthers. Burry, a walk, a sacrifice, and an RBI double in his 3 plate appearances. And he pops this one up down the right field line into foul territory, giving chase is Green, but he's going to come up just short.
Did you see that ball?
That one I did, actually. That one I saw off the bat. There have been a couple, though, that I have not. And one thing I just noticed, too, if you look at the light poles, yes, the lights up high are going down, but there's also a set of lights at the bottom that are shining up. So you do get a little bit of ambient light that is going upwards into the sky.
Okay.
No, we're told here that light going up actually helps that you don't lose, and they say it actually works pretty well. Not sure I've seen that style of lighting anywhere around here, Jay.
I never have. Of course, I haven't been to as many ballparks as you have.
When Coach Oliastro played his high school ball at Elwood City, played at Ewing Park, now named Sanders Field. Another one lifted down the right field line. Green giving chase again, and this one's going to fall just in front of him. A couple that were really close, Jay, that he may have had a chance to get to, but to complete the story on Oliastro and at Ewing Park, how about this? When they first installed lights, they had to replace them after about 10 years because they weren't quite high enough. They moved the old lights to the Little League Stadium. You know where they got the new lights from? Old Forbes Field.
Really?
Those are still the lights, I believe, that are now at the Little League Field. Or at this point, they may have moved those old lights down to the Little League Field. Not completely sure on that story, but I know it was that lights were moving from Forbes Field to Ewing Park and to the Little League Field right adjacent to it in some order.
There's another one.
Just wasting those pitches, waiting to find a mistake that he can turn on.
That last foul ball, I thought the right fielder had a pretty good chance to get it, but it looked like he's lost it in the sun, or the lights, actually.
Saying the sun left us long ago after a 3-hour first game here in our doubleheader. The 2-2. Again, off the end of the bat, just hanging around, as Mr. Malkovich would say from Rounders. Hanging around, hanging around.
I don't think I've watched that show before, so I don't even have any idea what you're talking about.
Classic Matt Damon movie, Rounders.
I might have to watch it some night.
Count remains 2-2. Lifted towards the right center gap. Coming and making a diving attempt, and he made the catch. No, he did not. They say the ball hit the ground. Apologies. I thought he came up with it. And he's still saying he came up with it is Heckins in center field. First base umpire said no, he saw it on the ground. Kyle Bonner was right there looking out at it. He said he saw the ball hit the ground and bounce its way in. A great effort from Hakins. I thought he made the catch live as well.
I thought he did too.
But adamant right from the get-go, Mr. Bonner said he saw the ball hit the ground, and I don't know what more you're going to be able to say. I mean, I guess you could go and ask one of the other umpires if he saw anything differently, but that's going to be your first base umpire's call the entire way.
That's what he's doing. He's going to the other umpire.
And third base umpire, it's Andy Bruno, saying the same thing. I'm looking this way because I'm watching the tag.
That was a beautiful try on that fly ball. He came a long way.
Yeah, I didn't think there was a chance in the world he was even going to get close to it. Nevertheless, potentially make the catch.
I thought he made it too, but like you said, the umpires make the final decision.
And we are a heck of a lot further away than any of the umpires are. So it is an RBI single after the 8-pitch at bat for Evan Burry. You can't give Riverside extra outs, and now a little frustration maybe on that big-time wild pitch thrown by Danko.
Now batting.
Yeah, it's tough because you can't give Riverside extra outs, and on one that they thought that they had gotten it out and then didn't get it recorded, that's when the frustration can be leave.
That's when you might make that bad pitch. Yes, the one right went over to batter's head.
Good job to come right back, though, afterwards. That was his third wild pitch of the inning for Danko, but comes right back, gets the strike, evens the count at 1-1 to Ashton Schlosser. He's only got one official at bat. Strikeout, walk, and a sacrifice. Waits on the breaking ball and swings through it for strike 2. These lefties have done a great job of controlling the Riverside bats today.
I'm very impressed with the pitching. I thought Riverside's going to have a lot more hitting than they have had so far tonight. They can't just get that one big hit to break the game wide open.
5 hits and none too heavily hit. That one a strikeout. Second strikeout of the inning. Second out of the inning. Second time Schlosser's gone down on K's. Bo Fornatero now to the plate. Fornatero's 0 for 3 on the day.
With 2 Ks.
Misses outside for ball 1. Yeah, the 2 and 3 hitters have unfortunately struggled for Riverside today. Schlosser on base once with a walk, but 2 strikeouts. Fornatero 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. The Garvins, though, in the 4-5 spot, making up for it. 2 runs that have scored on hits for both the Garvins.
Well, the one hit was the sort of, they called it an error, but
right.
It was a hard hit ball.
Yeah, that was when Danko was out in center field. Danko now on the mound as he went traveling a long way into the left center gap and went off the end of his glove. Didn't quite get full extension to make the catch. And then a new center fielder in Hakins looked like he did. There's a big hit. This is a moonshot to deep left center field. Giving chase and almost coming up with that one is Hakins. This is going to be 2. It's going to be maybe 3 bases. And waiting on the throw, he will slide in head first.
Looks like the center fielder's hurt too.
And they're going to hustle out to deal with him because he spilled hard out there going for that fly ball.
I thought he had a chance for that one too.
He did. After the last one, there was no way I was going to doubt him.
He has some speed. Got a good break in that ball too.
Second triple of the year. Good to see getting up under his own power out there in center field is Nicholas Hakens. And, yeah, the freshman, man, does he have some speed. One play he thought he made the catch. The next play, we weren't going to doubt him. I mean, that was probably 400 feet away from home plate, and he nearly got the glove on that one as well.
That was definitely a shot. It would have been out of most ballparks.
Yeah, Pointerero, you're right, just about any other ballpark probably would have been his third home run of the year. Instead, it's his second triple. Approaching the 2-hour mark of this game. Hunter Garvin at the plate. He actually now represents the game-ending run. Riverside 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 3 in the fifth, but still going. And Garvin gave one a ride, too. Swings to the first pitch, a little behind the first pitch fastball for strike one.
That ball hit by Bo is probably the hardest ball hit of the night.
This one chopped foul. Count now 0-2.
Head on the breaking ball.
Coach Oliastro gives a call out. Still coaching at third base. One of the few coaches that wears the helmet that I thought was actually officially mandated, though none of the coaches and none of the umpires really have mandated it themselves. I thought that was an NFHS mandate. That breaking ball misses upstairs. Here's the 1-2. Good block again. Vanier's been busy behind the dish.
A lot of low pitching tonight.
Hunter Garvin now with 20 RBI on the season. Faced a 2-2 count. With the open stance. Misses up and in, and count goes full. Danko getting the sign. Thank you, producer Rob Nattel. Always looking out for me. It's been a long day for all of us here at Seneca Valley High School, but it's been a fun day. Another breaking ball that misses up. Valley fans not pleased, but I mean, you can tell pretty easily that one's breaking after it crosses the plate and missing upstairs.
As a former pitcher, you probably caught that right away.
Well, that's a typical one, and that's when I played. I had Ricky Gabriel as a home plate umpire, and that's one that he consistently calls correctly that a lot of umpires can struggle with, especially a lot of younger umpires. It's not where the ball's caught. It's where it crosses through the zone. First pitch high and away to Mitch Garvin. So 3 straight innings, Riverside has brought 8 batters to the plate.
Danko showing a little frustration there.
Oh, he thought he was out of the inning. A couple of times.
Come on, Tyler. Take a deep breath. Deep breath.
Well, if that center fielder will tell us he caught the ball or not.
Oh, he'll say he caught it no matter what.
I
mean, I would.
Yeah.
3-0 now the count. That's what we had a game up in Lawrence County, Shenango against Mohawk, that it was that's called the other way, that the ball was caught and the Mohawk team adamant that the ball hit the ground. Could have tied the game at 2-2, and I think it was the 5th inning, but instead it ended the inning and ended up preserving a shutout victory for the Wildcats. And that's going to be a fun game, Shenango against Avonworth in the quarterfinals. We talked about it earlier in the 4 versus 12 game, East Allegheny against Mohawk, but the word is that there were some ejections in that Mohawk-Greensburg-Salem game.
Be interesting to see who can't play or who can play.
Designated hitter number 14, Drake Fox.
Mohawk doesn't have the deepest bench this year either. Very young team. I think only 2 seniors total, but it's going to be that next man up mentality. So winning run, or game-ending run, I guess officially I should say it. Stands at second base for Drake Fox. 2 walks and a strikeout here today. He drives this one up the middle. Diving play by the second baseman, and he just saved the game to Taliani.
Beautiful play. I thought that was through. And game would have been over.
Valley's played some impressive defense. Jay, would it surprise you if I said that this team had 7 errors in the opening round?
Yes, it would.
They have 1 error officially on the books today. Another 3-run inning, though, for the Panthers. They lead 8-0. We go to the top of the 6th. Back in a moment at tribhssn.triblive.com.
That was awesome.
Building Block Baseball is a local organization dedicated to and actively involved in teaching and development of local baseball talent. 3B provides weekly baseball seminars from January through May to enhance local baseball knowledge for players, coaches, and parents. Building Block Baseball is available for one-on-one development programs, team instructions, and group sections. 3B also provides Lawrence County with their own collegiate summer baseball team. The 3B Barons showcase top collegiate baseball talents of the area. Visit buildingblocksbaseball.com for more information and for their free downloadable documents and videos. Whether you're just learning the game, playing in college, or coaching a team, 3B can get you the building blocks of baseball today.
Pitcher out there on the mound, that is Christian Lucarelli, the sophomore who has already committed to Duke. He's able to make that commitment literally 24 hours before he would not have been able to make that commitment anymore, as they are no longer allowed to officially commit to a school until the summer of your junior year. That went into effect, I believe, was on April 27th. He announced his commitment to Duke on April 26th. So just in the nick of time to put his commitment out there, and part of it, Lucarelli, one of the big 3 throwing the ball for the Riverside Panthers over these last 2 seasons. It's been clocked at 90 miles an hour. Seen him warming up, and glad we get a chance to see him in action here today, Jay.
Tell you what, it's going to be a difference between Harper's delivery and his.
Yeah, from lefty to righty, from probably mid to upper 70s to coming close to 90. Lucarelli, a 1.5 earned run average. Opposing batters are hitting under 100 against him. It's the top of the order. Tyler Danko, 1-2-3. He goes down for the first strikeout of the inning.
Up next.
So Ronnie Harper
Wagner.
through 5 innings of 2-hit baseball. Struck out 10 and walked 2. The last pitch he threw was a bit of an awkward fall, too, so not sure if that might be part of the decision-making to bring in the right-handed sophomore.
And what value, and he had 2 hits, too.
Mm-hmm. Swung on and missed, so 5 strikes thrown.
I don't know if that was a strike or not, but they swung at it, or offered at it, I should say.
So now 0-2 the count to Alexander Vanier. And he gets him to chase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Now batting number 4, Conrad Hoover.
Now Conrad Hoover coming to the plate. Hitting .230 on the season is Hoover. Another fastball right in there for strike one.
I don't think he's thrown anything but a fastball since you come in.
Well, he's not needed to. He's blown now 8 pitches by these Valley Vikings batters. No ball, 2 strikes. Lucarelli winds, fires, and he gets the immaculate inning. A 9-pitch inning, all strikes, 3 strikeouts for Lucarelli. We'll be back in a moment. 8-0 Riverside leads on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Need new tires in a hurry? SE Tire has your size tire in stock. Install today. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at SE Tire. We do tires and we do them right.
Coaches, success in the spring on the diamond begins all the way back in the fall. Get your team ready for the spring sports season by joining the Western Pennsylvania Fall Baseball League. For nearly 2 decades, the WPFBL has hosted some of the top teams in the WPIAL and beyond to hone their skills in a competitive yet developmental environment. Over 60 teams compete in a 6-week fall season, which features Saturday doubleheader games in your region, followed by the playoffs for just $250 plus umpire fees. Coaches can choose to play based on a geographic location and school size, can choose to compete in the varsity division, and to get accustomed to 60-90 baseball in the JV division. For more information or to sign up for the WPFBL, call League President Brian Zarenza or visit WPFBL.totalcamps.com.
Okay.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Be the second full inning of work for reliever Tyler Danko. Riverside leading 8-0. Ronnie Harper in the end started and threw 78 pitches. Christian Lucarelli, the immaculate inning. You don't see it very often. One of the Pirates players just had that a couple of weeks ago, Jay, and I guess that was the first Pittsburgh Pirate to have the immaculate inning in like 7 or 8 years, something like that.
It's been a long time.
Now Darren McDade, who was pinch hit for last at bat, he's re-entered, and he will swing to begin this inning.
The game, number 33, Darren McDade.
So Zach Hare pinch hit and struck out on the one of the many weird plays we've seen tonight. It was a strikeout that was completed on the wild pitch by a 1-3 putout. First pitch strike from Danko to McDade, 14 RBI. One pitch misses upstairs, saying we had the unofficial radar gun going on, and a couple of those pitches from Lucarelli were hitting 91 miles an hour.
And he is a sophomore.
Now, we heard about him early last year. He was hitting consistently in the 85, 86, topping at 88, and he gained another 3 or 4 miles an hour from his freshman to his sophomore year. Swung on and missed, count even at 2-2. Here to McDade. Two balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball away. Broke around the plate, and the count runs full.
Pitch, kid. Let's go, kid. Let's go.
Called strike 3, froze him on the outside corner. 4th strikeout for Danko in relief. 8th total strikeout for Valley in the game. And that brings Sammy Barber up. Walked each of his last 2 at-bats and scored both of those times to the plate. A good first pitch strike again from Valley. These lefties, again, have thrown insanely well. I know the scoreboard doesn't necessarily show it, but when you hold a Riverside team 6 hits through 5 innings, and really, 1 or 2 that were truly well-hit, hard-hit balls, I mean, that's something to be said for. And I mean, I know, barring something miraculous, it's going to go down in the L column in a first-round defeat, but for Valley, this has been so a lot of things to build on, especially, again, for a team with no seniors, Jay.
I'll tell you what, that the pitching has been been very impressive tonight. Like you said, the left-handers are just, you think they Riverside have the advantage being right-handed. They're just not doing it.
3-1 now, the count to Barber, and he's been seeing the ball well. I mentioned he's walked twice already. The 3-1. Upstairs, ball 4. 3 straight at bats. Sammy Barber has taken the hard 90 down to first base. And now it's Mr. Hayes coming to bat.
Seth Hayes.
Or Sean Hayes, I believe.
What call?
We apologize. So here's the story that we've gone through now. We had Sean Hayes on the roster. We were told after that game, before the next game, by one of the coaches that it's actually Seth Hayes and that it was wrong on the roster. So we had it switched. But we just had Sean's dad come up to the press box and say, yeah, it is Sean, not Seth. So we're going with Sean again for now, and we apologize for back and forth, and I'm going to mess it up now because my head's all over the place. Sean, Seth, Mr. Hayes has a 2-0 count.
That's a good way to do it. Or S. Hayes.
Yeah, S. Hayes, yes. It's S either way, which is nice.
Yeah.
Throw over to first base, and back over there is Barber. Again, we apologize. We check as much as we can before the games. It's tough before the playoff games, but like I said, we've covered Riverside before, and they specifically told me, yeah, last game you guys did, it's actually Seth, not Sean, and apologize. Now we're hearing the other way. So we'll get official confirmation before we get another Riverside game on the docket.
Well, I talked to the coach before the game, and I said Sean Hayes, and he said yes. So that's why I had Sean that wrote down there. Plus, I saw the roster I got, WPIAL roster.
Here from dugout, Sean Hayes. Count runs full. Now I wonder. Now I got to go and find my old scorecard. And yes, I know I have it in here somewhere.
Yeah, the night you did the Pullman game at Pullman.
Throw over back in time. So you know what it is. I figured out what the issue was.
What?
All confusion is done now. As a swing and a miss for the second out of the inning retires Sean Hayes. They corrected the roster on the WPIAL website. That's what it was. Because I originally had Seth Hayes and changed it to Sean. So that's why I'm messing up, because the original roster on the WPIAL website had it backwards. They got it fixed with the new rosters for the playoffs. So apologies again to the entire Hayes family and for now allowing for a good 2.5-minute storyline during your son's at bat. We do thank you for tuning in back at home, Mrs. Hayes. This one lifted towards right field. Green trying to settle under it, and he will do so and make the catch for the final out of the inning. No runs, a walk, and a runner left on the bags. Last chance coming for the Valley Vikings. They'll have 4, 5, 6 hitters due up when we return on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
In workers' compensation, my clients are oftentimes not receiving their wage loss. They're not receiving their medical expenses. LGKG, they come to us so that we can put them in a position to pay their bills. If we're keeping our promises, our clients are getting the justice they deserve.
Each quarter, In-Community Magazines delivers the latest school district and township news, as well as local stories about the people, places, and businesses in your neighborhood. With 31 magazines in the north, south, east, and west suburbs of Pittsburgh, In-Community Magazines has you covered. To learn more, visit icmags.com.
Yeah. Top of the 7th inning, Christian Lucarelli on the hill, his second inning of relief. Mentioned he's going to Duke. That glove looks like some Carolina blue out there. I'm not sure. Is that allowed for a Duke commit to be having some Carolina blue-looking glove?
I don't see anything wrong with it. You can have any color glove you want.
I mean, I'm sure the Tobacco Road rivalry is as intense in baseball as it is on the basketball court. Obviously, that's where we hear about it the most, but
What was that?
Certainly was not 91 miles an hour. That looked like when you get the position player
Yeah.
out on the field late in the game.
Looked like about 61 mile an hour. If that.
That's a heck of a changeup.
I don't think we're going to see any change-ups.
Yeah. So it's Heekins, Storaniel, and Schock who are the 3 due up. And he's human. Ball 1 downstairs. Lucarelli threw an immaculate inning. 9 strikes, 3 strikeouts in the 6th. Comes right back there. Evens the count at 1-1. And Riverside closes this out. They will take on Freeport in the Elite 8 quarterfinals coming up again. We expect probably on Tuesday and Wednesday. The opening round games for the higher classifications all were yesterday, so we'd expect those games to go Monday, Tuesday for quarters and semis. Bearing back on that one is Lucarelli. 2-2 now the count. The 2-2. Swung on and missed, and they just can't catch up to that fastball.
Jacob Sorensen.
It's been a long day up here. Rannick, first pitch downstairs for ball 1. Two. Two hits in the game for Valley, both extra base hits. Straniak has one of them. Swings and misses on that one, goes all the way back to the backstop. Count even at 1-1. I'll make sure that's all right. Ball hit the backstop, make sure there's no scratches or anything on it. Again, Jay, we're good at getting the nightcap, the last game across the WPIAL to finish. So we thank everybody who's tuning in on the TribLive High School Sports Network. Strike 2 called.
And it's only 10 o'clock.
Only.
Well, compared to the other night.
When did that softball game end for us?
11:15.
The 1-2. First breaking ball we've seen. Gives a different look, but it's in the other batter's box. Count now 2-2. Throws it there, and a beauty. 5 batters faced, 5 strikeouts. Now Valley down to their final out. Wesley Schrock has the other double. Two down, top of the 7th inning. Valley down to their final out. First pitch outside corner, strike 1. A quick post-game show once all is said and done. This one way upstairs, and home plate umpire Ricky Gabriel ducks for cover.
I think I would too if I saw that count in my head.
Glad to see Mr. Gabriel out there for those up here in the Lawrence, Butler, and Beaver County area know him very well. He, I believe it was hip replacement surgery that he had not too long ago. Just got back behind, this was clear to get back behind dish just under a month ago, I think. So glad to see him out there doing well. Valley down to their final strike. Lucarelli on the bump, facing Wesley Schrock. Just misses down and in. Count even, 2-2. Swung on and missed. 6 straight strikeouts in relief for Lucarelli. Your final score, Riverside 8, Valley 0. The Panthers advance to take on Freeport in the quarterfinals on Monday or Tuesday next week. We'll keep it right here for our postgame show on the TribLive High School Sports Network. Quick recap for you. It wasn't until the third inning, bottom of the third, that Riverside finally got their runs on the board. A leadoff single from Sean Hayes, followed by an RBI double from Evan Burry. He would score on a long fly ball from Hunter Garvin that was ruled an error on the center fielder on a tough play. Mitch Garvin followed with an RBI single of his own. It was 3-0 after 3 innings. 2 more runs after 8 more batters go to the plate in the fourth. Leadoff walk from Barber. Hayes sacrifices and reaches on a fielder's choice. They're both advanced into scoring position. A couple walks, a bases loaded walk, giving Hunter Garvin an RBI, and then Mitch Garvin an RBI single for his second ribby. Made it 5-0. Turned into 8-0 as Riverside sent all 9 batters to the plate. Again, first 2 batters reach on walks. A single from Burry scores 1 run. And then an RBI triple from Bo Fornatero brings another run across. And there was a double steal of home in there as well to get the 3rd run of the inning. And your last 2 innings, an immaculate inning in the 6th and another 3 strikeout inning in the 7th for Lucarelli in relief of Ronnie Harper. Lucarelli strikes out 6, Harper strikes out 10 with a 2-hitter to get the win. The losing pitcher will be Wesley Schrock, who threw 3 2/3 innings, gave up 5 runs, 3 were earned, 4 strikeouts and 6 walks, gave up just 4 hits in the game. Riverside only had 6 hits total in the game, Jay, so they definitely have some work to do before their next game against Freeport. That's a hard-hitting team, and Valley kept those bats pretty cool all night.
And there was also quite a few walks by Valley, which aided to Riverside getting the 6 runs they got, or the 8 runs they got.
Riverside left 11 on the bags as well, something that they will have to certainly improve before their next game. Again, it'll be on either Monday or Tuesday. We think Tuesday for the next round. Make sure you stay tuned on TribLive High School Sports Network for all of those updates. We thank Don Revel for making this possible for us today. He helped us with Lawrence County SportsNet, getting a couple of extra Lawrence County games on the air. We said we would help out and make sure this game got covered, and it was a dandy, Jay. I'm glad we were able to do this.
I'll tell you what, it was a very good game, and it was impressive seeing that pitcher in the last couple innings. I don't think I've seen heat like that ever in high school baseball.
We're going to have fun. Probably going to see him a couple more times. And again, remember, back-to-back, so in the quarters and semis. So when do you pitch who? It's going to be a fun little chess match to have to deal with. Running the cameras was Mr. Tyler Aaron, our producer Rob Tell. For the entire crew and my broadcast colleague Jay Moan, I'm James Dotson saying so long for now. Thank you for tuning in. 8-0 Riverside wins on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Best seat in the house is on HSSN.